Hey guys, it's Kirsten again with the second part to the video I just did where I told you guys 10 fun facts about me as a ballet dancer. And as I said in that video, I wanted to follow up with one that is completely not ballet related. So today I'm going to tell you 10 facts about me that have nothing to do with ballet because like I mentioned in my last video and as I've expressed before, I am all about building up your identity as a person not attached to ballet, even though it's something us dancers love very much, and it's pretty much impossible to not have a lot of your identity in ballet, but to have all of it is very dangerous. So, that being said, I just wanted to share with you guys 10 facts about me that show you guys you don't have to have everything about you be about ballet. So the first fact that you really need to know is I am absolutely obsessed with traveling, and when I say that, I really mean it, and I try to make my dreams to travel as far and wide as I can a reality. So I save as much money as I can. I have a savings account that I don't ever want to touch unless it's for travel. I'm always looking out for flight deals or opportunities, looking ahead to see like when I might have a break to travel. And oh man, I'm like the queen of researching affordable ways to travel, how to get to certain places, the culture of certain places, like what to do there. Even if I haven't been, there are so many places I feel like I've been simply because I've researched it so much. And I just find traveling to be one of the most enriching experiences that one can participate in. It really gets you outside of your comfort zone. And also, I just am a really firm believer in not living your life afraid of the unknown, and traveling is really, really good at conquering that if you happen to have that fear. For instance, when I got to go to Ukraine, I was so perturbed by all the people who were like, oh my gosh, you're gonna die. And, you know, at this, well, it's still on the US travel advisory list. There's a government website in America basically telling US travelers where they should be advised to probably not visit or visit with caution. Ukraine was on that. I had never felt more safe in my life. I had a wonderful experience. Everyone I met there was so nice, so kind. And the more I've done that kind of traveling, the more I've realized that it's just so important to not be afraid and to just open yourself up to seeing how people around us or not around us, the ones in different cultures, are really a lot like us in our home countries. And even though there are differences, those differences are wonderful and beautiful, and you need to celebrate them and participate in them. And it's just so fulfilling and enriching, and man, I wouldn't be who I am without travel. So that being said, this year I'm so excited because my sister and I are going to Mexico and Israel, and I just could not be more excited. So as this relates to travel, my number 2 is that I have come across this conversation far and wide, all over the world, and people seem to be very intrigued with trying to figure out my ancestry, as in what, or maybe what my heritage is. I don't know if you'd say ethnicity, but basically what it like, am I Western European, blah blah blah, French, German, you know. It's so funny. I happen to know because my parents decided to take the DNA test from Ancestry.com, and so then from there my sister and I just kind of like pieced together their results, and I have a general idea of like what my heritage is like. But I found it so funny that as I've gotten to travel across Western Europe, that's where most of my heritage is from. As I traveled there, every country I'd go to, I would come across someone, and as I'm talking to them, they'd be like, "Are you Dutch?" And then I would go to that country, and then there in Holland or in the Netherlands, they'd say, "Are you German?" Then I go to Germany, and they're like, "You must be French." And I go to France, and I meet someone, he's like, "Oh my goodness, you look so Irish." Another person in Germany said I look Scottish. It just so happens that I'm very English in my heritage, some French, German, Scandinavian, so a little Swedish in there. Fun fact, my name being Kirsten is a derivative of the Swedish name Kirsten. I hope I'm getting this right, although names are a very like flexible thing, as you know, and in this day and age people change up names all the time, but in Germany usually they pronounce my name as Kirsten, same in Denmark, but the origins of my name is it's Swedish, so that's where from the name Kirsten, which I believe is spelled with like a K and a J, and that makes, I don't know, I'm so sorry if I am getting this wrong, but I've just tried to piece together the evidence in my own life to figure out like why the heck is my name Kirsten. No one could get it right. But anyway, I did meet a flight attendant coming back from Amsterdam last year who was Swedish, and her name was Kirsten. I heard another flight attendant say her name, and I was just like, there's another one of me, oh my gosh. And so we got to talking, and she was like, yeah, my parents are Swedish, and blah, blah, blah. This is where that comes from. And all of a sudden, my whole life made sense. So, fun fact. Oh my goodness, that was number 2. So, number 3 now. I love cats. This is really doesn't need a lot of explanation. You guys have seen Alice in a lot of my videos. It's, you know, pretty obvious. The crazy thing is that now pretty much every time I get a notification on Facebook that I've been tagged in a post, I pretty much know already before I look at it, it is cat related. My wall is flooded with people tagging me in like embarrassing videos about, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the one where the guy, or there are people like testing out this product where you have like this fake tongue and you lick your cat. Oh my gosh, that's on my wall. I should just remove all that stuff. Like, people who don't know me probably look at my wall and are like, wow, you're crazy. But that is, I guess, a testament to how well I've branded myself as a crazy cat lady. Also, turtlenecks. They're a big part of who I am. That's number 4. I've also figured out how to wear them in all seasons. I've got thick ones, thin ones, sleeveless ones. Any time of year, you better believe I'll be wearing a turtleneck at least once a week. Fun fact number, is that 4, 5? Fun fact number 5, due to my German heritage, my parents almost named me Liesel. Bonus fact, my last name means champion, and I like to think that's a prophecy over my life. Fact number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fact number 6 is that I am also really passionate about business. I discovered this when I went through a business minor program at the University of Utah, so I got my minor in business. That's basically what I meant to say. And I would have actually double majored and got my other major in finance, but that would have taken a lot more time and money, and I decided I just wanted to move on with my ballet career. So, but business is still a big part of my life and my aspirations. It's a big part of what I see myself doing past dance. I've always been very entrepreneurial in my spirit, and actually my sister and I would love to open our own business one day, specifically one that has a business model that relates to reducing food waste and providing more nourishing meals to people who generally would be in populations that are told they can't afford it, or they actually can't. Just basically making more healthy lifestyles more accessible for people of all socioeconomic classes, as well as hopefully making it an educational model where people learn to care for themselves in a better way by learning to nourish themselves with good food. Oh, and that study abroad I was talking about, I think I mentioned it earlier, it was for international finance in Paris, and it was the best month of my life. There was almost nothing that got me more excited in college than taking out my French twist and just going into the business school and being a normal person that was competent as, oh my goodness, whenever professors would be like, oh, you're the ballerina, therefore you know nothing, you are probably stupid. Oh my gosh, nothing lit my bum on fire more than that. Oh man. Those were the classes usually where I got the highest test score in the room. So the next fact is that I was homeschooled basically all growing up from the 2nd grade all the way through high school, and I had a very positive experience, and despite what some people think about homeschooling, actually turned out okay, and would recommend the experience to a lot of other people. I think it actually taught me to be an independent and creative thinker, as well as a very disciplined person. I could work on my own without a lot of supervision, and I just really kind of feel like it taught me to not live my life inside of a box and kind of like minimizing my goals and my aspirations and my talents to fit inside of a mold. Not saying that conventional schooling methods do that, but I do feel like those qualities were emphasized in me because of my background homeschooling. And also when I was growing up, I did all sorts of activities. My parents never pushed us to do certain things. Like, I definitely don't have a stage mom, or I don't know. Basically, our parents wanted my sister and I to be able to experience as many different activities as possible so we could actually figure out what we're good at and what we really enjoy doing. So we did everything from karate to golf, tennis. Oh my gosh, the list could go on and on and on and on and on. But one thing I really settled on was swimming, and until I was 13, I was super serious about it. I totally thought I was going to be an Olympian. That was my goal. I was a part of a relay team that set a state record that lasted for many, many, many years. I don't know how many. I don't know. It might still be up. I don't check. But then when I was 13, I realized, I don't actually like anything about swimming other than winning. And that's just really no reason to stick with anything. So the next fact is that I like to describe myself as an introverted extrovert. When I'm around people, I really enjoy socializing. I really enjoy talking with people. I find that my behaviors are very extroverted in manner. However, I can be very introspective and introverted because I do find that my energy levels restore when I am by myself. Often that's what classifies an introvert compared to an extrovert. It's not necessarily how you socialize, but how you restore your energy levels. And I find that being alone is really fulfilling. I can be alone for a very long time and be totally happy about it and not feel lonely and just feel great. I really, like I said, enjoy being introspective and thinking a lot, analyzing a lot. So I think those qualities sometimes take away from my extroverted nature. I really flip-flop back and forth, but I definitely can exhibit very extroverted behavior a lot of the time, and I'm kind of known as a people person, and I also do qualify myself as one of those. But the one thing is, I hate meaningless conversation and chit chat. Small talk, I mean, it's just a part of American culture. It happens, whatever. I totally participate in it a lot. But if it continues, and if I see that someone is only willing to put out meaningless conversation prompts, I'm so done. I just crave like deep, meaningful conversation to a fault. Like, I'm sure it gets annoying for some people because, I mean, chit chat happens and I'm just over there like, can we talk about this and like be open with each other? And oh man, deep conversation gives me life. The next fact is that I can definitely be a super nerd about the things I like. I'm one of those people that finds things they like, and once I find something I'm really interested in, I want to be an expert on it. Like, there was one time I watched the Cooked documentary series on Netflix, and as you guys might know, I really enjoy cooking. So I watched the episode on bread, and usually I don't eat bread. I eat mostly a gluten-free diet due to my wheat intolerance, but I decided that I was going to try to make sourdough bread, and like made my own starter. I wasn't even going to buy a starter. Like, I did the whole thing. I love projects. Oh man. I'm just that type of person where if I like something, I will research it. I will try to know as much about it as possible without even knowing it. It's not like I have the goal necessarily of being an expert so I could school people on it. It's just such a fascination that I just want to go in more and more and more. My second to last thought is that I am definitely a thinker. I am obsessed with just sitting and thinking. It's not necessarily meditation. I don't know. Sometimes I find that my mind is cleared when I think, and then other times I just get into such like a rabbit hole of thoughts that I end up somewhere very strange and wonder how I got there, but I'll just sit in the silence and just think for a long time. Or I love walking and thinking, or oh my gosh, I bless my mother, she will just let me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until I'm just thinking out loud and I get to the weirdest thoughts. And in my thinking, my goal is to like identify patterns or ways of thinking that, or even thoughts that I haven't heard people articulate before. I really enjoy identifying patterns that lead to certain ends, so I can almost like discover through my own thoughts, like in my opinion, what might be the cause for a certain outcome that people don't even think about. I guess the kind of belief I live by is that there's always a why, and even whenever there are things that people say, well, you know, I don't know, it's just because there's no reason. Those are the things I just want to think about even more and come up with a reason for the way things are. So my last fun fact is very funny to me, and it's that I finally figured out, thanks to one of my friends, that the coloring I have in my skin, in my hair, and my eyes, well, not necessarily my eyes, makes me someone that could be referred to as a daywalker. At first, my friend and I were talking in a group, and he has like red hair and freckles, and he gets burned really easily, and we were talking about how each of us kind of responds to being out in the sun for an extended period of time. And I was thinking, you know, it's kind of strange that I have slightly reddish hair, but I don't burn very easily at all. And my skin has a yellow undertone that probably has something to do with it. But yeah, it's kind of weird, and I'm not totally a ginger, and I have some freckles, but not a ton. And my friend was just like, you're a daywalker. And I was like, excuse me? You know, I thought he was like saying something offensive, but then he kind of like explained what that is. It's basically a person who's like kind of a ginger, but not, doesn't really have a lot of freckles, pale skin, but doesn't really burn. What? That's so funny. I appreciated him telling me that, because I always felt like I never knew how to categorize myself. Like, I'm a ginger but not, but usually people get like upset when I categorize myself in like the red hair group, because they're like, you're not a ginger, basically like, don't you feel too special about yourself, you're not that cool, you know. And so I just never really knew what to refer to myself as, and now I know. Okay, so this video is like an eternity long, so I'm gonna stop there, but I really hope you guys had fun watching this, and hopefully as much fun as I had talking about this stuff, because I just think it's kind of fun and funny. So anyway, I will see you guys in my next video that will definitely be ballet related. I hope you guys did enjoy this, and that you look forward to me talking as a ballerina and not as just a normal person. But anyway, until next time, guys, bye!